I want to say big thanks for coming on and doing everything you do, man, because I think it's been really cool to watch your evolution as a Terran. I'm trying to think of the right word. Creator of sadness, like the bringer of people, like the number of people who've thought they were beating your Terran in the games we've cast in the last 6 months,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
destroy them when they think they've got it, and they're like so upset. It's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So well done, dude. Your Terran's come such a long way over the last year or so.
Thanks. I'm using a lot of like my Protoss concepts and some StarCraft 1 tactics. You know, bringing that into Terran. So I'm kind of using a little bit of both. I don't. My philosophy is kind of like you say. I don't go in for like the kill. I go in for the overall victory.
Hells yeah. The mental devastation. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Genghis Khan. You know, he wouldn't just like defeat a city and then they'd be like, oh, okay, you got us. And he's like, okay, I'll take the sword off your general and like, you know, you guys can swear allegiance. He's like, no, I warned you guys. Like, you fought back. I am going to kill everybody in the city, like burn it to the ground. And you're like, oh my God. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you
And then
built
you
that
turn
aura.
around though.
Yeah,
You turn around and say, so who else wants to fight back?
exactly. That's it, dude. Because some of the games, right, people recognize Sewer Mermaid or Dankcraft or something like that in the name. They go, oh, Florencio question mark? And it's so funny because those are the ones where some of the things they do are perfect to counter you. They clearly have a big head start because they know your builds in whatever matchup they're playing. They're finding your corner bases, they're blocking you. But there's always a point where the pressure just gets to them and the fear sets in because they know they're fighting against a player who's always going to find a way to do some mad filth to them. And they always start to like break apart under that pressure. So it's like, yeah, you've built the aura of fear. And that's what we're going to see players try to contend with today. And they're going to go into it eyes open, but I still think they're going to crumble.
Yeah, I always tell them, I was like, don't tell me you know me, because you're gonna end up countering yourself because they're gonna be playing who they think they were playing, and then I play differently, and they're all like looking for my hatch for my expos, and they're like, I was looking all over your expos, I couldn't find them.
You're like, dude, I took my natural. Like, they're like, oh, but I checked both corners. You're like, no, the normal natural, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah. Those are always...
Before we get into it as well, dude, like your hotkeys, you've been learning. You got your MMO mouse. You did that little image. How's that been going? It's been a few weeks now. Have you stuck to it? Have you like made many changes?
Yeah, I haven't made too many changes from the first main change that I did on Twitter, but I have made a few changes, but they're to improve the hotkey productions and stuff. I haven't really been too, like, I barely just started practicing them in a sense on ladder. I just been recently like testing out, is this key good? Is this one good? Is this combination? Because it was all about ergonomics, you know, with the hand postures to make sure all the keys that I wanted were soothing to not mess up my hand. So I had to really apply everything in both keys and mouse. So I think it's really going well. I keep explaining to my viewers, like when I watch the replay at times, I'll go, okay, this is where I'm using my mechanics, and I'll explain things that I'm adding to my mechanics, and I think that also helps people that don't do it. That kind of just brings a little light, like, oh, I never thought about that. Like chrono boosting from the mini map. I've been chrono boosting.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
You know, I've never done that ever in my life. Same with injecting. You can do that on the mini map, but I've never done either of those.
With inject, I feel like it's good for me because it keeps the queens from actually moving around and derping. They just all stay, because I'll just have hotkeys for all 3 queens that are for the hatcheries, and then the rest of them I'll have a whole hotkey for all group queens. But this would help me kind of just inject without worrying about them moving around. So that's, you know, little things that I'm trying to like work on.
Hells yeah, man. The next evolution. So, I mean, today we're just going to play Terran and Protoss, right? Since they're the races you've been having the most fun with lately. You've kind of evolved them the most. Has it been a pretty even mix of those two on your own stream and ladder the last month, or have you been mostly Protoss focused while learning the mechanics?
No, I actually been Terran focused this whole time. Terran and a little bit of Zerg, but mainly Terran. I figured that if I was gonna get into two races, one of the biggest downfalls for me of creativity is if I keep jumping with one to the other race, and I want to do something specific with this one race. So I kind of just want to focus on Zerg soon, but Terrans, I've been working on every unit, strategies for every unit to try to identify like how to use the race good, and not keep my memory from just forgetting it.
Heck yeah, man. All right, well, let's get straight on into it then. Thanks for coming on the call. I'm going to add you, and we are going to get straight into a match.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. It is time for the Florencio Files episode number 200, Who Can Survive the Sewers? Down here in the bottom right-hand side, the Protoss player, he is, of course, the infamous, the disgusting sewer mermaid himself, Florencio. And he's got to be at home here because we are spawning on Abyssal Reef, a very moist map. Not quite as dirty as he'd like it, though. It's rather pristine coral reefs and that sort of thing around this map. There's fishes and stuff. No doubt he'll try and infect them. And yes, there is a shark. There's a space shark. As you can see, its shadows there. I'll try and find it later. Swimming around somewhere. His opponent, his victim, up here in the top right-hand side. We have just grabbed this player right out of the audience. They're a big fan of Florencio, and they've always wanted to take him on in a 1v1. It's Happy Stick, who's opening up with his own cannon rush. He's actually gone for a forge first. Happy Stick is a Platinum 1 player, by the way, for those who don't know. Florencio is simply going to steal the gas, and he's going to pull probes. He cancels his gateway to get us around on that. A good call by Flo, who says, you know what, that's fine. He's going to split his probes up and go after it. Happy Stick wants to get the cannon rush up. Okay, he says, okay, cancel that one. He's going to try and surround up here in the top right of the map. Oh, Flo has he noticed it? I think Flo, uh-oh. This could be big trouble. Oh my god, Happy Stick keeps messing up the wall though. He keeps messing up the wall. Oh my god, he can't get the wall off up. Oh no, Happy Stick. That probe is one hit from death. And those probes are wrecking it. Did the other probe die? I think it already did. It did indeed. So there's only one probe left. It's deep in the red. He's had both of his gases stolen. And already the show, which we thought was going to be all about how do players with 100% knowledge of who they're up against go into facing Florencio. And can they leave with their dignity intact? So far, I think Happy Stick's dignity meter is depleting very quickly. Don't try it. Don't shit a shitter. I believe, is that a saying? I think that's a saying, and I think it fits the mark here. Fits the bill perfectly. Never shit. Never bullshit a bullshitter. Never try and cheese a cheeser. Happy Stick ends up with 3 useless pylons in the corner of Florencio's base. Flo's crottoing probes, taking 2 gases, getting a cyber core. He's building zealots, which are going to clear up those pylons. Meanwhile, Happy Stick is using probes to ever so slowly try and clear out the assimilators so that he can get some tech up. At this point, it's not so much who can survive the sewers, because I don't think there's any dignity left. Happy Stick tried to bullshit. He tried to shit a shitter. It didn't work out. Wait, he's come back in. He tried to build a gateway there and a pylon. And Florencio just blocks it. He builds a pylon in the corner where a cannon could go up. And he says, what are you going to do? A gateway and a pylon get canceled. The probe goes down. Happy Stick is floundering like a fish on dry land at this point. And I think we're seeing that we started off a little bit easy to get Florencio warmed up. It was a Platinum 1 player, but I don't think they've gone in with the right approach here. I think at this point, it's not so much how do you survive the sewers, it's how long can you survive? Because it's going to be an excrement-filled death. It's just a matter of how long till you suffocate from too much poo water. You know? I think the best option here for Happy Stick in this scenario is potentially you can survive long enough to die of a bacterial infection rather than drowning from the sewer water. I think it's not so much about winning or anything. It's can I survive a little bit longer? You know, is it going to be a quick death or a short death? A quick death or a slow death, I should say. Florencio steals a gas on the natural. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, good play by Happy Stick. Florencio's probe 100% had his little buildy warp in holder in one hand, had the middle finger in the other hand, and was like, hey, I'm sorry, mate. Did you try to cannon rush me? I'm sorry, what was that? Wait, what was that? Happy Stick's just walling off his natural with cannons and batteries at this point. He's going to try and get his own Stargate up, but Florencio way ahead on that mark. Already making an Oracle, and he's chrono boosting his probes, of course, that Florencio macro that we know so well. He was chrono boosting, chrono boost ran out, then he started probe production. It's the way to do it. And you know what? Happy Stick actually appears to have better macro than Flow, guys. Is actually hitting that mineral count and that probe production quite hard. So, I mean, I was talking about Happy Stick being dead. Tech-wise, yeah, not in a good position, but enough cannons and batteries to survive just about anything. Is up in probes, is getting the gases on the natural quicker. Now, Flow is getting a second Stargate, and he's got a lot of gas in the bank. So, I guess he's still ahead on gas for quite a while. As long as he takes these gas within about a minute of Happy Stick taking his, he'll still be in a decent gas position. And he's actually going Phoenix, which are a little bit better than Void Rays because they're much more mobile and they can move while they're shooting. But look at this, 2 Adepts coming by. Florencio's going to try and chase them down. I do like that he shades backwards with these because he knows that Happy Stick's going to be able to get ahead of him. Ooh, those Adepts in the lead. They might be able to get quite a few probes here. Behind this, it looks like the Oracle does fly in. Oh, it actually takes a fair bit of damage, but look at that. It's out of range of the shield battery. It looks like the Adepts got cleaned up at home, so Florencio only loses 1 probe, but the Oracle almost gets baited into the cannon, but nah, he sends it back over there, and he's just sitting above the mineral line. Florencio's Oracle doing absolutely massive damage. And look at that. I mean, does that look like a player who's got a lot of dignity? He's got 12 probes. They're considering a certain sort of pact with that Zealot and Void Ray. They're like, can we just not go back to work and just GG? Can we? Come on, man. Vote to surrender. Vote to surrender, guys, please. We're going to lose. We can't win. The Oracle finally goes down, but he got 11 kills. And somehow Florencio's only even on workers behind it. Oh, no, and he didn't put back on this gas either. Oh, my God. Okay, he's got those gases mining, but this is true Florencio macro at work here, guys. Remember, with every little victory, he punches his opponent in the face, but then he, like, cuts his own hamstring at the same time. He's like, no, you still got a chance. Look, I accidentally chopped me leg, mate. Happy Stick's like, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not too... I'm actually up in probe still. Like I'm building Void Rays. I could do this. And you know what? He absolutely could. Void Ray versus Void Ray. Void Ray versus Void Ray is like a really dicey sort of battle a lot of the time. And if you don't make upgrades as well, I mean, say Happy Stick adds an upgrade or 2 on the Cybercore, definitely has potential. The problem is, actually, 4 Void Rays versus 4, but a bit of a supply block here for Happy Stick. Okay, what's this? 2 Adepts threatening a Shade. They don't quite end up committing to it, but they will be able to in a moment. Of course, 2 Adepts do beat 1. They could fly up into the main. So the idea, this is a very simple 1-2. Florencio says, hey, look at these Adepts. Chase that, chase that. And as they distract, look at that. He sets up a shield battery outpost on the right-hand side of the natural. And he says, come and fight me, dickhead. He's got more Void Rays, dudes. That's 4 versus... Okay, it is 4. There's 4 Void Rays there now. Oh, actually, it's over to the left. Now that Adept is up in the main, it's not killing anything because there is a cannon and battery guarding the mineral line. But Florencio here setting up a forward outpost. What many of us who are, of course, disciples of his sewer science call a fuck station. But actually, 5 Void Rays versus 4, and Happy Stick focuses those Void Rays down way faster. Oh my God, is Happy Stick going to make the unbelievable comeback? He actually just might. That cannon does get some sick damage. The Void Ray's ignoring it for a little bit too long there. That Void Ray is going to take a ton of damage. But Florencio there takes a beating, and he's actually just lost a lot of his advantage. Now, he does start a quicker third, but he's still down a couple of workers here, and he's going to swap into Gateways and a Twilight Council. Now, Blinkstalkers aren't terrible versus Void Rays in small numbers, but in big numbers, if you engage into them when they have Prismatic Alignment, that's going to be really nasty. So I kind of worry for Flow here. Technically, Archons and Storm are amazing versus Void Rays, but I think Florencio at this point may be getting a little bit too cocky and trying to, of course, Simba his opponent by smearing poo on his face with the shield battery outpost over there. The Phoenix are really good at tanking, and he's building some more, but right now it's Happy Stick, who I think is going to cancel the third. The question is who wins out in this trade, because remember, there's no cannons and batteries at home for Flow, whereas there is for his opponent. Now, Happy Stick goes in, and then he gets afraid and runs away. Happy Stick's second-guessing himself. Meanwhile, Flow goes in, and you could go for the base trade, you'll win it, but look at this. Happy Stick is like, oh, shit. Oh, no, I lost my third, and just runs home. Too worried about losing. Actually, wait, these Void Rays are being caught. They've been caught. Okay. I think Flo's got to recall his Void Rays. As long as he does that, he's okay. His Phoenix gets some shots off for free, which is cute. If he doesn't recall, though, I think he may be done. Actually, wait, he's got 4 Phoenix. He could take this fight. Oh, he doesn't turn on Prismatic Alignment. It's still off cooldown. His Phoenix don't fight either. Oh, he only gets 1 Void Ray for 4. Florencio, once again, does scrap that one up a little bit. And you know what? He's got a faster third, but his air count gets reset on the Void Rays at least. He's got 5 Phoenix and a Void Ray versus 6 Void Rays. Now, it's still nothing but Void Rays for Happy Stick. There's no transition. Meanwhile, Zealot's coming in for Flow. And while they won't beat the air units, they can definitely overwhelm cannons and batteries quite well. Happy Stick is playing full-on camper mode PvP. Has a lot of money in the bank, is definitely way ahead with these trades that have been going on. And I think Florencio at this point is not just filling up the hope meter and making it less desperate. He's legitimately losing this game right now. Florencio has a quicker third, but the third will be up for Happy Stick soon. Florencio making Phoenix is good 3 at a time, but they don't have Phoenix range. They don't have any attack upgrades. If he wins the next fight, that'll be good for him. But it's all going to come down, I think, to that next air battle. If he loses 1 more air battle, I think he does lose the game. Now, right now, that's 7 Void Rays. He's got 10 Phoenix, though. I think they're going to take this out. What can the Void Rays do, though, before he gets there? He's going to go for it. He's got to go for it now, or he loses that Nexus. And he goes! And he pulls all of his probes and zealots for a counterattack as well. He's going to lose his Nexus. He gets 1 Void Ray, 2 Void Rays. Can he get a third? He cannot. Oh, my God. Happy Stick with the big boy plays. And Florencio's actually looking a little bit desperate right now. Happy Stick at Platinum 1, I'm kind of going, is this really Platinum 1 play? This looks way higher than Platinum 1 in my eyes. This is crazy. I think Happy Stick might be a plant mate. Might be someone who's brought on a certain account that they only have there. And he's going, oh no. People say, oh, he's actually Diamond 1. He said Diamond 1. Oh no. I thought I was starting him against a Plat 1 opponent. I said, we're going to give you an easy one to warm you up. And Florencio, oh no. So we've lied to Florencio about his opponent's rank without telling him. So that's my bad on that one. He may have thought he was getting an easier opponent than he actually was. And he's looking a little bit desperate right now. He's trying to go into Blink behind this. He's picking up some probes. So this is the damage. The Zealots, of course, unable to overwhelm the cannons and the battery overcharge. The Phoenix do pick up a fair few probes. And I do think Phoenix is honestly probably the way to win this. Happy Stick is trying to go Blink Stalkers, but even they're not the best versus Phoenix. Ooh, 1 Phoenix, 2 Phoenix go down there. Down to just 7 Phoenix. And Florencio here, without Phoenix range, without anything like that, and with that Nexus going down, I think our Diamond 1 opponent, Happy Stick here, who came in knowing all of Florencio's tricks, and also came in with a fantastic prepared follow-up. His opening got absolutely diddled, but his follow-up, this Void Ray cannon stuff, he's got so much static. It's hard for Florencio to pull off all of his aggressive maneuvers he wants to do because the solid defense is there. It's rock solid, in fact. So Flo making Blink Stalkers, and it looks like already in his warm-up game, we may be finding a Slayer of the Sewer Mermaid. Now, to be fair, this could be Florencio playing this out. He knows he's playing multiple series tonight, and he's a very strategic man. We were talking to him, of course, in that pre-interview, where he said, you know, I don't really just like to play for the quickest win. I like to get the absolute victory, I believe were his words. The absolute victory, of course, talking about mentally crushing his opponents. And I think he's viewing today's Sewer Survival Challenge as one opponent. He's saying, look, I'm purposely going to make the first game. I'll either lose it or I'll make it really dicey, really close, so that the following opponents really have their hopes and expectations up high, and I can truly crush and obliterate them. I mean, this is just Florencio in a nutshell, right? It would never be a Florencio game if it was easy. But Archon's coming in. What the hell? Happy Stick with some big brain plays. Phoenix cannot pick up Archons, guys. Now the Phoenix can go in if the Zealots and Stalkers can get on top of the Archons. That would be good, but those Archons adding some pretty crazy damage. Okay, the Zealots and the Stalkers get the Archons. The Phoenix get on top. Florencio coming in with the big plays. Before the cannons and batteries are finished on this 4th base, he finds a narrow opening and he takes out every Void Ray but one. A beautiful win there by Florencio. And Why did I ever doubt him, guys? Why did I ever doubt him? Now, the problem is that's a lot of Archons warping in, and he's not really got anything except, what has he got? Like 4-gate non-warp gate Zealot to beat Archons. Archons are like a hard counter to Zealots almost. So if Happy Stick can spend that gas bank, Phoenix can't really deal with that. Happy Stick's macro is so much better. He's still reprobing. Florencio's thinking about a 4th, but he's nowhere near that point in the game. And I think Happy Stick may have just outgrown him, even after that horrendous engagement. All that does is tie up the units lost tab. And with Happy Stick's macro being better, his composition being better, it's going to be tough for Flo. Now, Flo realizing that there is an Archon swap underway, he keeps harassing. Oh, he gets a great Phoenix fight where he, of course, has the advantage in the Phoenix count there. Nicely done. He's picking off probes. I'd love to see him go around the back and pick off more probes of these bases as well. That mineral line's still super exposed. But he's going double Robo. Now, I wonder, balls are amazing. Disruptors are really good versus Archons. He's making lots of Stalkers. Colossus wouldn't be terrible just because they've got long range. They don't do bonus damage versus the Archons. But since he's already got air domination with, like, what is this, 13 Phoenix? I would love to see. Even Immortals would not be bad for now. Now he's trying to take gases on this fourth. He's up on 70 workers. It's a bigger economy than Flo ever wants to really go to. That's 7 Archons, though, and I don't know if he can stop that. He's only got 8 Stalkers. He's trying to build some Immortals, which are good versus Archons, but I don't think they're going to be ready in time. There's no shield batteries or anything at home. And Flo here gets caught out. His opponent pushing on in. Flo is going to need to pull back to the high ground. He's chrono boosting those Immortals as hard as he can now. Look at that. He's queuing blinks down cliffs. Happy Stick is ridiculously good at this game. Oh my god. Oh, Happy Stick's going to push in. I can't believe he went Skytoss Cannon Battery, then transitioned into ground. He's playing a really flexible style. He's not letting Florencio nail him down and kind of put him in a box as a player. Now, a lot of probes do go down there, but Florencio's fourth falling. He's got 2 Immortals on the high ground. A 3rd Immortal is there. Now, Flo hasn't lost all of his probes just yet, but he's about to lose his 4th, his 3rd, and a ton of workers. Now, Flo doesn't have that much money in the bank. What can he possibly do here to hang on? He's queuing up like 6 Immortals. I don't think that's going to cut it. Even pulling probes in against Archons, they will not do that much. He's going to try and take the fight here using probes, using the choke point. The Phoenix picking up the Stalkers, the Immortals doing a crazy amount of damage. If he has some more Immortals rallying in, maybe, just maybe, but oh my god, Happy Stick with the macro overwhelming power comes in with a super well organized pre-game plan, and we see that a player there of a very similar rank to Florencio's current skill comes on in, perfectly prepared plan, and it looks like he will be able to take out Flo. I think we've already got someone surviving the sewers and proving that they have what it takes. Florencio says, you want to come for a swim in the sewers? Happy Stick says, only if you lick my lollipop. Florencio's like, what? What the fuck does that mean? And he's like, ha ha, drops his trousers, pulls out a chopper chop, and unfortunately Florencio just got grazed by it a little bit. So despite the early cannon rush defense, the Archon swap was genius. Great macro from Happy Stick. And we have a winner of game 1. Holy shit. Well played. Well played, Happy Stick. Bounces off the terrible opening with an incredible macro follow-up. And Florencio does fall in this first test match against the audience. GG, well played. All right. A hit and a miss in map number 1. Our sewer mermaid has been slain. But you know what? There'd be no excitement, right? If he won every single game. And I think if there's one person who is pretty much immune to caring about losing, because it's all about the fun of the gameplay and the creative expression that he puts into it. Because this man is literally an artist. He's actually a very good painter. For those who don't know, he loves doing stuff with his hands. He's very hands-on with like crafting and all sorts of things. And yeah, I think you see it in his play style. Definitely, I think not an engineer sort of brain. Not that I'm nowhere near like an engineer brain either, but pretty much the polar opposite here. Let's see what sort of beautiful charcoal drawings he can do here on Redshift. It is Florencio, who is going for a forge first. He went that way at first and then realized, wait a second, this is the front of my base. I'm giving the players really old maps they might not even remember if they've even played on them before. He's going to go Gate Forge, sends a probe across to the corner. I don't think he knew where his opponent spawned either. He went to the top right. Oh no. His opponent, though, is going for a 13 gas, 12 pull, super all-in opening. So Flo's going to need to scout this and turn around really quickly when these lings come out and get cannons up at his base. I think he should be able to adapt quite well, because remember, these players are basically Florencio's biggest fans. They all wanted the chance to fight against him. Oh, he's going to hide one probe behind the natural. And yeah, they're loving this opportunity. So they're going to come out trying to blind counter his builds. Now, Flo does need to wall off the front. Yeah, and he normally does this wall off with a second pylon. And then if he can cannon behind it, that'll be great. Now, one problem he's running into here is that he's getting Baneling busted without even making Ling speed. Ice 9 Ocean is literally just going to make as many Banelings as possible with slow Zerglings and bust out. And look at that, he's hiding Lings to the side. Oh, this is a genius maneuver, but Flo comes in, he sees a drone. The fake drone, Ice 9 Ocean is literally doing the cleverest all in. Now, Flo does see some more guys coming, but if he doesn't get a pylon and a cannon up here or reinforce his wall, he's going to lose this game. Now, he's building a Zealot. The Baneling nest is not finished just yet. Remember, this is just a trickle of Zerglings. 11 Workerling Bane all in. Oh, no. Flo's going to see the hatch, and I think he won't realize it's an all in. He builds a Cyber Core, but you know what? The pylons, actually, this could work because you can't depower the cannon because both pylons power the cannon. So you're going to need to kill that, then kill the cannon, and there'll be a Zealot out. And he's trying to cannon behind the base. Ice 9 Ocean is backing out of it. Ice 9 Ocean, I think Ice 9 Ocean still might have been able to win if they just went mass Zergling, but is now panicking, is pulling home, is making a lair and a second gas. I mean, yes, he stops the Cataract, but he's on 10 drones. Oh no, I think Ice 9 Ocean, honestly, commit everything, bust a pylon, run into the main base. I think maybe you could win this game, right? You could maybe do this game and win. But Ice 9 Ocean, I think, panicking and fragmenting under the pressure. And remember, that's a lot of what we were expecting. He's not droning for the last 2 minutes of this game. He's on 11 workers. Oh, Ice 9. Oh no. He's broken under the pressure. I was like, it's a perfect counter game plan. And then Ice 9 Ocean, unfortunately, realizing he's being cast right now, facing Florencio. The Queen hasn't injected in a minute and a half either. And is looking everywhere for the proxies. He's hunting every corner of this map. He's so worried about what Florencio's doing. And Florencio is like, yeah, I'll just make +1, some Zealots, and expansion. I got 2 Zealots and a cannon out here. Some nice Zealot micro as well. Very well done. The cannon picks off 2. The Zealots damage a few more of those Zerglings as well. And Flo here just having a bit of a party. Ice 9 Ocean finally hitting that drone key. But look at the way Ice 9 Ocean is running around the map. We got to go to Ice 9 Ocean's camera and watch from here. Because we are watching someone who is quaking in their boots right now. They're shaking. Look at the Zerglings are running around. He's looking around his bases. Thinking about taking a third at the gold base. But he's going, I think he's going in the wrong direction to take that. He sent the drone out to the gold. Now he sent it to the low ground. I think he's misclicked it to the wrong side of the gold. I think he's going to build the hatch over here accidentally. Right? You can build it there? What's he doing? What? Or is that just accidentally in the army group? What? Why is there a drone here? I'm so confused. Ice 9's building spores now. He's so worried about the oracles. He's like, literally, Ice 9 has a montage of every Florencio Files episode he's watched running through his head right now. And this is the power of getting viewers and fans of this show to play against Florencio. They're like, I know what's coming. It's a strategy game. Therefore, I should be able to deal with it. Instead, what we're watching is a panicked goat basically completely lose their sense of timing and instead kind of be worried about everything at once. And check this out. He's trying to put some more Lings and Queens. I think should be okay. The problem is running into is those Zealots have +1, so they 2-shot Zerglings. So these Zealots are going to force a lot of Zerglings out. They're forcing Banelings to morph. And all they're looking to do is slow down the third base. They're just chilling. These Zealots like, oh, you don't even have a third? Okay. Fair enough. That's kind of weird, but interestingly, neither player took their gold base just yet. The Zealots are going to come on in, but ooh, Banelings and Zerglings. Nice spready on the Zealots. Detonates all 4 Banelings. And we'll take a few Zerglings out before he goes down as well. Not bad. Behind this, of course, the transition is fully underway. 2 Stargates on the way. And Florencio right now, I think, is going to go into full-on spoiled kid mode. Now, for those who don't know, if you want to know, they both expand at the exact same time at the same base from different sides. Okay, this game's about to get awesome. But yeah, basically a spoiled kid mode. So if anyone whoever never got many treats as a kid, you know, you'd go through the supermarket, you'd be like, oh, can we get the fucking Cocoa Pops? I want the Doritos. Oh, Mom, can I get the fucking ice blocks, the ice cream? And she'd be like, no! Fucking, you're not going to be unhealthy. We're going to get you, would you like an apple or an orange? And you're like, I don't want fucking either. I don't want to eat vegetables or fruit. Florencio right now is the kid who rocks up to school with a lunchbox that has fruit roll-ups. He has fucking Rice Krispie treats like LCMs or whatever they're called. He has tiny teddies. He has fucking Dunkaroos. Like, he's got the whole smorgasbord of everything every kid wants to have in their lunchbox. And he just is like, ooh. And now at this point, rather than just smashing that shit home like most normies would do, because he's spoiled with this sort of stuff, what he's going to do is he's going to take one out and he's like, oh, I don't even want this. Do you want it? And his friends are like, oh, yes, can I please have that? And he's going to be like, oh, okay. Actually, nah, what are you going to do to get it off me? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't have anything to trade. And he's like, oh, okay. And then just chucks it in the bin in front of them. Like, you know, this is where Florencio gets his fucking adolescent power trip on. This is where he gets his little childhood, like, I have power over them. You know, he's going to be the kid who rocks up with the soccer ball to school. And he's like, oh, you can only play if you tell me that I'm God or something like that. And you're like, what? He's like, yeah, you can't play soccer with me. I brought the soccer ball. It's mine. You can only play if you say I'm God. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, kids are fucking weird like that. Florencio is like every one of those kids all tied up into one disgusting human. I mean, disgusting, terrible, but beautiful at the same time, right? He comes in, the Phoenix and the Chad Rays come in. Oh, actually, they take out one Phoenix. Oh, the Void Rays aren't fighting. Florencio there. You could see there, that was him. He just chucked his Dunkaroo into the dirt in front of a really hungry kid who comes from the wrecked home, doesn't get fed enough, like his parents don't give a fuck. He just threw the Dunkaroo in the dirt. That's what that was. He literally held position as Void Rays over the hatchery when there were no drones around, out of range of the queens, let both Phoenix die, damaged one queen, and then flew away. That was some true science school micro. That's the sort of shit where right when Ice Nine Ocean thought he was 100% dead, Flo pumped him up. Flo was like, oh no, I lost my Phoenixes. Oh, I guess, you still got a chance in this game. It's totally fine. Yeah, keep playing, mate. Keep playing. Ice Nine Ocean is like, yeah, okay. Well, I think maybe I got a chance. I'll sneak a corner base up. Yeah, like, we could do this. We've got queens. Got an infestation pit. We've got a chance. Unfortunately, Ice Nine's economy in this game could best be described as shit. And if there's one thing the sewer mermaid is adept at just vacuuming up, it is poop. He hangs out in the sewer. It's a big source of his nutrition. For those who don't know, Zerg, if you don't know the lore, they actually get nutrition when they're on creep. It like seeps up into them because it's like a nutrient-rich kind of Play-Doh type goop, and it like actually goes into their toes. So they like eat by absorbing shit through their feet, apparently. I feel like Flo's like that, but he's just waist deep in sewerage the whole time, and it just kind of absorbs in. And it's part of where his creative strategies come from, and it's also why whenever he gets a blood test, they say, you are literally toxic. Like, literally. This isn't some SJW shit. This isn't Riot trying to ban someone for creating an unfun experience in League of Legends. He is literally toxic, as in he should not be alive with the level of fucking blood toxicity that he has. He has like toxoplasmosis or some shit like that. He's got all the fucked up diseases and bacterial infections and everything, man. They're like, dude, you shouldn't even be alive. This is fucked up. He's like, okay, cool, all's good then. And they're like, no, it's not. You really need to see a doctor. This is not the way it should be. He's like, yep, doctor, sure. He's like, is that that bloated corpse in the corner of my sewerage nest that I speak to sometimes? It's basically his equivalent of Wilson from Castaway. There's a bloated corpse. He sometimes gives it like a fucking, he'll do the eyebrows on it or something like that, and he'll have conversations with it, and he's like, hey, corpsey, hanging out in the sewer again. Some people say I'm lonely down here and that's why I'm so cruel to people on the ladder, but I've got you and you've got me and we're best friends. They don't know what they're missing out on. Unfortunately though, he may be a bit cocky. Mid-conversation with Corpsey, he's about to get ambushed. The infestors unburrow, then they throw some sick fungals, damaging a bunch of the Void Rays, but I think there's just too many Phoenix. They pick up every single queen. Oh, this is that moment. Florencio's not even hitting him. He's holding him by the scruff of the neck. That's what it is. When the Phoenix pick up every unit but don't actually kill them, that's him picking up your opponent by the scruff of the neck, looking them in the eyes, and you win by intimidation. Florencio uses intimidating neck scruff fucking grab and literally obliterates his opponent. We may need to make sure we get a higher level opponent for the next map because Florencio, I think, just broke Ice Nine Ocean's will. I'm going to rule that one. Dignity remaining at the end of that game. 2 out of 10. Great effort, Ice Nine Ocean. We've all been there. There's no shame in that. He's higher MMR than you as well. It's a bit of a weird map. You did come in prepared, though. 2 out of 10. Dignity remaining at the end of that one. Good attempt, mate, and well played, Florencio. Let's go straight into game 3. All right. It is time for game number 3, and we found ourselves a Diamond 2 Protoss opponent. A couple of tiers higher than the previous one. The gentleman coming in with a clear, prepared game plan for how to deal with a Protoss versus Terran this time around. Florencio going back to his other favorite race, Terran, the one he's been working on a lot recently. It is Florencio. Now, guys, we are spawning on Hidden Resort. You might not be familiar with this map. Why? Because it has frigging water slides on it. Now, that is not just an aesthetic feature. When you go down, when your units stand stationary, they will slide down the ramp at about this speed. So if you're walking down it, plus the slide, you go, woo, you can move down those ramps so fast. Moving back up them is incredibly slow because you're moving against the flow. If you siege or burrow a unit on that, it will slide to the bottom and end up in the pool at the bottom. That's right, we are in a literal water park of a map. It's one of the greatest maps ever made. Shout out to Maris who made it, and I can't wait to see some of the silly things that happen here. Let's see if the gentleman can protect his ego, protect his dignity, and see what dignity rating he can get at the end of this map. That looks kind of like an oracle almost. This is a cool graphic. Oh my god. All right, so it looks like the gentleman opening up with a gateway in the main base. 3 barracks for Florencio and a gas. I think it's 3 barracks Reaper. Oh, but he's going to let him into scout. Oh, no. Will those barracks get scouted, though, I wonder? Because this looks kind of normal. And he even goes in engineering bay to sell the story. So, oh, the probe doesn't check the top left. Yeah, this looks pretty normal. Oh, big brain flow. So a cybercore goes down. The gentleman desperately needs a second pylon and a zealot. I don't think he realized his Nexus hadn't started for quite a while there. Second pylon goes down, second gas. Zealot now gets chronovisted, but look at that. Engineering bay with 600 hit points. That's going to take forever to clear out. Behind this, Reaper is building, and he's going to be building a lot more Reapers out of this. This is a 3 barracks Reaper aggressive opening. And, well, he's going to need his most gentlemanly behavior. That SCV, look at that. He's going to try and attack the Zealot to lure it away. Florencio is trying to aggro the Zealot, and then he's going to run backwards. So if the Zealot was attack moved rather than targeting the engineering bay, he would do that. Look at this. Okay, the probe turns to fight. The Zealot does as well. Oh, he does get caught. Not quick enough reaction for Florencio. Nonetheless, though, he's got a Reaper. He's walled himself off, and he's building Reapers 3 at a time. And I'm going to tell you guys, those Reapers are going to have fun running up the back door. They can. I hope he goes around the back. Oh, actually, can you? I think that's a ledge. Is that? Or maybe you can just run there. So there's like a mineral wall here, but I think you can just run around this way. Okay, so there is a way in. So this probe could run around there and sneak up the back door of the enemy's main base. So you got to remember, both players are actually technically not walled off there. It's just very slow for units to move up that water slide. There we go. He just moved up the water slide. That probe was like, it's trying to get up there. Okay, Reaper's coming across the map. Zealot's going out. There's a Stalker and a Sentry. Sentry's not going to do well, and that's 4 Reapers. They will kick the shit out of a single Stalker if there's no battery, which there is not. Another Stalker and a Robo on the way. There is a jumping ledge as well. Uh-oh, Reaper's in the main base. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Reapers are trying to run around there. And, okay, they got 4 probes. Oh my god, the Sentry goes down. 4 probes, a Sentry, and these Reapers going to run circles around this base. They're going to get out of that main without any of them going down just yet. There's a Zealot coming back, but more Reapers joining up on the front, and they might actually just fight here, make the Stalkers attack down the ramp into the grenades. Behind this, a command center's on the way. So Florencio is not just doing 3 racks Reaper, he's doing a little bit of everything right now. And look at that. 2 Stalkers, no shield battery. He never put down a shield battery. Uh-oh, the gentleman has to pull probes. His Zealot is back, which will do a little bit of tanking. But look at how quickly those probes are dying. You need your Stalkers to be landing hits while the probes are tanking. But notice the way he was bouncing them away. And he even focus fires the probes there. Oh, well done by Flo. He gets the Zealot. Yes, he does. Oh, get out of there. Go down the water slide. Escape. Use the water slide to get out. Oh, he's going to take out so many probes. It's probably worth. Damn. Massacre. 11 workers go down. A Reaper comes in, gets 1 probe. Can he get a second probe kill in the natural? And, oh, he changes targets to the other one, but, oh, no, he was attack move. Those Reapers, I think, are going to get trapped. At least one of them does. And Florencio pulls on back. So, chat was telling me, apparently you cannot get over that. Apparently that's an impassable little wall, this thing. Even though it looks kind of flat, That is a barricade you cannot pass. Oh, the Reaper's already back in the main. The Stalker's a little bit too slow to respond, and DeGentleman is on struggle street right now. Remember, Florencio's macro is almost always horrendous behind his aggression, but this aggression is really getting out of control. More Reapers ran in on the natural, but the probe surround. DeGentleman actually gets a probe surround. He's distracted. The Reapers go down in the main, and DeGentleman may have stabilized. Remember, DeGentleman, with 2 bases up, could very quickly reprobe and recover here. It's all about your ability to take a punch against Florencio and not get too thrown off. 3 reactors going down. He's got 3 more Reapers that are going to bounce around and look for some more damage, but the Stalkers and Sentries positioned between these 2 bases are going to be well poised. Not many probes there, so I'd love to see the Reapers run down the water slide and just do a bit of a ring around the Rosie, but they're going to do a ring around the Nexus, even better. 2 more probes going down. Make that 3. Make that, almost 4. He rotates them so the weak Reaper gets to the side. The probes try to get a citizen's arrest, but that Reaper's still alive. Oh god, these probe kills are just out of this world. 6. Can he get a 7th? Can he get a 7th? Yes, he can. 7 more probe kills, bringing the total up to 24. And that, with the command center down for Flo, still doesn't put him in a massive lead because he doesn't have orbitals, so he's not dropping mules. Water slide, whee! And there's even a little splash when you get to the bottom. Oh my god, it's so adorable. I love that DeGentleman is just like moving the probe all over the map looking for proxies and corner bases. Look at this. He has literally queued a probe to repeatedly just scour the entire map for nexuses in the corner and command centers in the corner, knowing that that's Florencio's big play. But Florencio, knowing he's going up against players who are prepared for him, he's like, that's cool. I'm just going to like expand in a normal pattern. And lots of unupgraded Marines. Now that, of course, is not very good because he doesn't get any upgrades for his Marines usually. But that being said, DeGentleman's economy was so butchered. He's got no tech on the way. It's just some Stalkers and Sentries. And he's just continuing to check for any proxies or corner bases everywhere he can. 3rd CC is on the way here. Florencio making many Marines. The planetary fortress slowly starts to erect itself in his natural. The only worry I have here for Flo is that he's not really, and another one in the main as well, is he's not really got any tech up. His factory's just finished. He's building a few turrets, but is it going to be tanks, cyclones, battle cruisers? Usually those are the things that he builds towards that allows him to win games. I'm not sure he's going to be doing that this time. That could create some problems. As DeGentleman goes for the 3rd base, DeGentleman's like, all right, I lost 24 probes. I can do this. I can do this. I can beat a sewer mermaid. He's just a fucking troll, man. He doesn't even try to win. He just tries to win in the silliest way possible. Like, I can beat that. Yeah, like we can do. Come on, like, we can get Twilight Council, we can get some upgrades, we can build an Immortal. You know, the gentleman's trying to gather his wits about him, trying to breathe, trying to get some organization going. Is that a 3rd planetary as well? Oh my god, 3 bases, 3 planetaries. Absolutely ridiculous. He's got turrets on every base as well. A tank there. He's building SCVs. He's got 1 billion Marines, which I guess if he actually pushed with these Marines in this first tank, he might actually just be able to kill, to be honest. I think he should go right now because these Marines aren't really going to get any better as this game goes on. And what's he doing? He's floating a barracks to go scout, I believe. He's building another barracks. He's going Marine tank? Why is Florencio playing Marine tank? What? I'm so confused. Upgradeless Marine tank. Blink, though, for DeGentleman, which is one of the worst upgrades against just a Marine tank army. Charge, Colossus, Storm, all would be useful here, but I think DeGentleman's trying to follow a more normal plan, and that's dangerous because that means it's going to take you literally forever to actually get up what you need. I guess Blink would be good against battle cruisers, which is usually Florencio's game-winning move. A 4th base incredibly early. DeGentleman, I think, realizing here that you just need to mass expand. If you mass expand, you will always be able to Whee! you usually can survive against Florencio if you have enough expansions. You know, Florencio, he just has limitations on how much stuff he ever does all at once. And it is indeed a floating barracks push. And you know what? There's only a few Stalkers, Sentries, and an Immortal. I mean, the gentleman's trying to be greedy here, but he's doing so much greed off so few units. And I don't know if that's going to be the way to do it. Flo's pushing here. Marine tank. He's waiting for that barracks. Oh my god, the tanks are sieged. The Marines, though, are guarding it. Well done. So he's going to start to inch his way forward here. He could go left and kill the 4th base, but he's going to have to push up that ramp if he wants to do that. Just waiting for the barracks to move forward. More Marines coming across the map. There's no follow-up for Florencio. No starports or anything. Florencio is swapping from everything that players expect to playing the most normal shit ever. He's like, yeah, just going to make some... I mean, it's not really that normal, but for Florencio, this is about as vanilla as you could possibly go. This is like watching... Who's like the strangest person in the world? Like, imagine like a Kanye West or someone like this, and he's just like acting like your friend who's a fucking accountant and is like the most tame just person ever, who like doesn't swear and like, not even that, more like a Mormon. Just I don't know, imagine Kanye just acting like a full-on Mormon or something, and he's just like, oh, hello. It's kind of like soft-spoken and shit. That's what Florencio's doing right now. It's weird. It's like we're watching... I don't think that's even a good analogy. We're watching that fucking Manson serial killer guy. We're watching the Manson guy pretend to be... Who's the most wholesome person? Bob Ross. We're watching Manson act like Bob Ross. And he's like, okay, guys, we're just going to paint here some strokes of Marines and siege tanks. We're going to use a floating barracks, and we're just going to try and create a nice turn impression here of what we want the Protoss base to look like. But charge kicks in, and that's a lot of zealots. I think Florencio could have shoved in early, but he didn't do it early enough, and now he's being held. And what was Florencio's follow-up behind this push? Nothing. He's got 2 factories with reactors coming down, but he really has not done anything behind this. I think Florencio is engaging in maximum troll right now. You know, there's something to be said for his opponents expect him to play a certain way, but Florencio is also almost always, when he doesn't attack, he usually has his next phase set up behind it, and he's already going into it. But it feels like he's a little bit slower with it today. And I think because Florencio is trying to play like such a normie, it's like he's rebelling, you know? He's like, oh, yeah, so we're just going to draw a nice picture of a sunset, and his fucking body starts convulsing because he's not being himself. It's like, no, be true to who you are. And he's like, I just believe in spreading positivity, and, you know, I don't really want to give my opponent a bad ladder experience, so I'll never rush them. And I want to, you know, if they really would prefer 10-minute no rush, I'll do it. Like, his fucking starts spasming, his body's shaking, fucking bubbles coming out of his mouth. It's like he's dealing with being possessed by a demon, you know. Finally, he starts massing Widow Mines, and that's a Florencio move I can get behind. The armory's finishing up. He's going to go Drilling Claws, mass Widow Mines, and that's going to be some beautiful shit. The scary thing here is the Gentleman has built such a huge economy and so much production. I think the Gentleman's realized that as long as he gets big enough, Florencio will not be able to deflate his Protoss. Oh, sorry, I missed him splashing down that ramp there. My bad, guys. I want to see these units go down these water slides as much as possible. There's a planetary with a bunch of Widow Mines. Immortal's very good at breaking planetaries. And this tank is really far back. If the tank was like if there were tanks on the ledges, I'd be really happy for Flo. But as it is, I think that 3rd is exposed. And if he loses his 3rd, he just doesn't have a good enough economic position against an 83 pro Protoss. He's going to need to make some sick battlecruiser transitions happen and that sort of stuff. 5th base goes down for the Gentleman. Now, the Gentleman does only have 1 forge. So if you're not going to push in, I feel like as the Gentleman, you do need to be going like double forge, 16 gateways, like that sort of stuff. As it is, it's 11 gates. And there's some upgrades and there's some Colossus. I like that he cancelled the disruptors there. Those units flashing up and down that ramp a little bit. Widow Mines here. Okay, Drilling Claws is on the way. The lack of a starports though. Yeah, 2 starports are now done, but he needs to start a fusion core and needs to get that battlecruiser production going. But if you get enough upgrades and enough economy, I don't know. Can Florencio's strategies deal with you? You know, at this point, I feel like the Gentleman, the early game was absolutely poopy, right? There was poo getting flung everywhere. It was like he was in the cage with the monkeys. They all decided he was the stupid monkey, so they all decided to throw poo at him. That command center, as long as it doesn't land, should be fine. Not many units that shoot up there. Should be able to get back to safety. That's a lot of Marines. Oh my god, Flo's going to counterattack with Marines. What a legend. He's like, okay, he's distracted. Quick, go! They're like, sir, we don't have drugs or upgraded guns or combat shields. And he's like, it's fine. Single Zealot takes the Widow Mine. That survives. And yeah. Oh, he saw him coming. I think the Gentleman's going to try to get home. Is he recalling? No, he's not. Those Marines could get in and do some damage. And this is what he needs. He needs chaos. Florencio needs chaos. He needs destruction. He needs to make this game a shit show. And here we go. Those Marines have snuck their way across the map, but a very quick recall. That was a quick reaction from the Gentleman. He recalls not that many units. He kind of misplaced it. The Nexus will go down, but for that many Marines, a bad trade there for Flo, who's, I think, at least he's off the Marine count now. And the Gentleman is doing pretty good. So you can see here a player who's coming in with such a prepared plan for dealing with Florencio. What I would say is the weakness is that they don't have static D on the edges, though, right? And if he had starports doing Widow Mine drops or Hellion run-bys or battle cruisers, I think any of these would be good. But Florencio being a little bit less flexible with his harassment than usual, and he's trying to go Ravens right now, which aren't really direct combat units at all, and they don't help any of these units do better. Anti-armor missile doesn't help them. He's starting Cloak right now for... Okay, there we go. Fusion Core is going down. He's got a lot of money, so he could still get a ton of BCs out. But up against a maxed out Protoss player. And those tanks, you really need to keep those behind the planetaries and on the high ground wherever possible. I think he wants to do another attack with mines and tanks, but Florencio here, he's doing a lot of attacking from one direction. You know, he's wearing this mask of a player who does simple front-on attacks. And I can't wait until he starts doing, hey, I'm going to run Widow Mines over here. I'll walk some Widow Mines in over there. Usually, the way he wins a TVX is harassment from behind. And I wonder if he's going to go in that direction. He does start 2 more barracks, but he's still building unupgraded Marines. Oh my god, this game has been non-stop unupgraded Marines. Normally he drops a unit when it's not working, but this game he is obsessed with it. I wonder if we'll see ghosts. That I would love to see. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh no, does he burrow fast enough? Oh, a lot of zealots do go down. And there's not much detection there or anything. But yeah, that's a scary place to be right now. The Observer's over there. The Observer's gonna come and he's gonna kill every Widow Mine. That's a big win for the Gentleman. Remember, the Gentleman has way more money. He can reproduce, and he's actually going carriers right now. Oh no, Flo loses his entire Widow Mine army. His planetary on the right's in trouble as well. I think he can keep that alive for now. But can he even defend this base? That's 6 Immortals. Oh no, 6 Immortals absolutely destroy this planetary. As I said, without tanks behind the planetaries, they're going to go down. And Florencio, unable to withstand the Gentleman Protoss player here, is going to come in and do very, very well. Those Marines doing what they can. The Widow Mine's going to friendly fire as they take out those Zealots. Thors are coming forward and battle cruisers. It's a much better composition for Flo, but he's got to stay back because those Immortals are the absolute destroyers of Thors. Now, this planetary does survive on the right-hand side, so he's still got some mining, but Florencio's already spent almost all of his bank. And those Thors, every time the Immortals are able to land with them, that's it. Look at these units trying to get off the water slide. They're trying to go up the water slide. You're not meant to go up that way, you silly billies. Oh, look at the Colossal. Oh, there's just something so comical about watching those units struggle up those rounds. But shout out to the Gentleman, guys. The Gentleman here really did a great job and avoided getting dragged down into the mud. And it looks like a well-prepared defense here for the Gentleman. Survived the Reaper Chaos and a Marine tank push. A unique idea. We haven't seen that from Flo before, but just wasn't quite able to push in hard enough and fast enough. The Gentleman buying time for charge and then using that economy advantage to overwhelm. GG, well played to the Gentleman. That's another... Well, let's be real. Okay, we didn't actually rate our first game. So remember, our first game of the day, we didn't rate that one. It was a win. It was, I would say, 7 out of 10 because the cannon rush was horrendous. So I think our first win, a happy stick, 7 out of 10. The second one, a loss, 2 out of 10 because it was a good countering opening, but no confidence to follow through on it. This one, another win from the Gentleman. However, the Gentleman did take 25 worker losses to the Reapers at the start and was running around chasing his own tail. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 though, because the rest of the game was very dominant. 8 out of 10, dignity remains for the Gentleman. Let's go into the next map and see how the next challenger goes. All right. Now, one of our final games. We've only got a few more left today at most. This is probably going to be potentially the final one. And down here, a new challenger, a Zerg player, currently in the Diamond 3 ranks, but coming in on a big map, good for Zerg, has a well-prepared plan, knows all of Florencio's tricks, is no doubt going to know how to counter him, just like we saw in that last game. Let's see if Peruvian Swarm can survive the sewers with his dignity intact. Up here in the top right-hand side, the Terran player, it is Florencio, going for a gas first build as Terran. Gas, barracks, and nice move. I like that. SCV up there. So there's a few, when you're a tricky player like Florencio, but everything is on display and everyone's studied your builds, this is a very different sort of thing for him to be playing repeated matches against people who literally are going in knowing exactly how they're going to counter all of his plays. And he's obviously adapting and moving on the fly, but we are seeing some cool little things. We've seen players check the corner bases repeatedly. We're seeing players expand at a really fast rate and realize that as long as they rebuild their economy quick enough, they can bounce back after taking some damage, right? We're seeing players use detection to clear out his widow mines and things. And here we see Peruvian Swarm coming with an early drone scout, wants to check what the hell is going on. It's going to be a Marine first. SCV's building, drone running around. Command center goes up in the corner of the map. And that SCV looking to fake the expand. I love it. This Marine, of course, rallied to that drone, is going to come out and clear that up. And Peruvian Swarm is already looking around a little bit, but he hasn't checked the corner. It's good for Florencio. Of course, there is also a chance that one or two of our players today is enough of a try-hard to stream cheat. We're hoping not. We're hoping no one has. I don't think anyone has. I think everyone's been very good and nice. But Florencio and me are both streaming live without any delay. You can, of course, if you're watching live, check him out, !multi or !Florencio to get links to his stuff. And watch there as well. Behind us, a really quick lair for Peruvian Swarm. Holy crap, lair before ling speed even. Damn, are we going to see quick mutas? Mutas is a really good way to deal with someone who is playing very tech heavy. And you know what? Florencio is so focused on planetary fortresses. This might actually just be a game-winning build because Flo right now is like, cool, just going to build a bunker, just going to build an engineering bay and start making planetaries. And these planetaries, I think that's the thing, which is too counterable right now, right? What we're seeing is players aren't attacking into him the way he's used to them. Normally, if he denies enough information, players like headbutt in and kill themselves on him. But Florencio is maybe still committing a bit too much to planetaries when players have watched so many games where players have run into his main and died on that planetary fortress time and again. So I don't know. If this is mutas, he's in trouble. If it's a Nidus Worm, I think he's fine. Right now, there's actually not enough gas for either. So Peruvian Swarm is making more lings. Peruvian Swarm may be overthinking things. Is that lair maybe just for an overseer? Let's see. Or is it going to be a Ling Queen Nidus? He's got 150 gas. He's got 150 gas. That's enough for a Nidus Worm. I think we're just going to see lings and queens flood into Florencio's main. What's he about? Yes, he is. This will never work against Florencio. He's already got one erection up. He's about to get a second erection. Oh no, he's got a second over there and a third. There's no way lings and queens can kill planetaries. This, at best, will kill a bit of production in a few depots, and maybe he can hold position a queen or two behind a mineral line, but he will not be able to secure the kill, and it's going to require really good micro for him to get those very slow queens behind the minerals without dying to the planetary. This is a good attempt to kill someone, but Peruvian Swarm has not factored in the twin Ibex cannon, twin Ibex cannon, twin Ibex cannon. That's right, 6 Ibex cannons. And that is a big cannon Florencio. And this Nidus Worm is going to pop out. And Florencio, I am sure, is smiling on his stream as he hears that sound. He goes, oh, a Nidus Worm. Okay, sure. The lings run in. And then they run back out of the mineral line. He's like, okay, that's... No, okay, let's go to the natural. We'll get some depots. The Reaper's like, yeah, come over here. Come fight, guys. Come play. Come play. Come play. The Reaper stands his ground as the ultimate bait. And the Ling Queen Nidus achieves a kill on 2 supply depots. Not the most effective rush there. He pops back in the Nidus Worm, is like, shit. That didn't do as much as I wanted. I guess the creep is blocking the add-on of a factory, so... Yeah. I mean, it would have been a nice move if Flo didn't make planetaries, but... He does, so it does not work. Now, what is Peruvian Swarm's follow-up? Remember, we saw in that last game, early game often fails, but these players sometimes bounce back. We saw it in game 1, we saw it in game 3. Can Peruvian Swarm make that same sort of comeback? He's checking all the corners right now, but these bases are completely protected. Zergling runs up and gets blasted. Burning corpse left there. And we've got starports, we've got factories going up, we've got Hellions very slowly killing a Night Swarm. Behind there's lots of gases going down, but a bit of a supply block and still only 36 workers for Peruvian Swarm, who you could tell is a little bit panicked at this point, realizing they've invested so much in this Night Swarm and haven't really done anything to slow Florencio down. And I love that Flo's going back to his main plays, which is mobile harassment units, Hellions, whatever he gets out of these starports, whether it be Banshees or battle cruisers, I'll be very happy. A nice, lovely burning worm there. Yeah. Florencio is not a dude whose house you want to break into. Let's put it that way. Like, he's the guy where you step in, there's like a literal, it's like a storybook pirate's treasure chest just sitting in the living room, open with gold spilling out. And you're like, what? And then it's always like you're halfway through filling your pockets with all this like expensive gold and gems and jewelry when he just like, you hear like this slight shift of the wind because the door closes and he's been standing behind it the whole time. He's got a welding mask on and a fucking blowtorch. And yeah, that's when he burns your worm. That's when he says, you can't leave. You've come too deep. Peruvian Swarm, I think, regretting ever trying to break into Florencio's main base. And does get a little bit crispy from it. Let's see if he can defend the next wave of burn. He's got 30 lings and 5 queens. That should be enough to defend this. Florencio's Hellions, if they get in a nice corner, though, they can be good. The Zerglings are trying to surprise them by the looks of it. Queen pops out. She goes down. The Hellions, they do get behind the minerals. They could, if they can line up these shots. Oh, they get some good volleys on the Zerglings. Woo, some nice burny burn. They do kill 38 Zerglings in total this game, and then they pull back out. Very nicely done by Flo, who's swapping into Widowmine production. Who needs add-ons anyway? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starports. I honestly think he's forgotten that he built starports on the left because he starts 3 tech levels. He's totally forgotten about him, right? He does pull those SCVs and start taking gases, but I wonder, is it going to be Mass Banshee? What's the go? Lots of bases up for our Zerg players. So Peruvian Swarm, similar to that previous game, is trying to rebuild the economy. But where the Gentleman was flawless, like macro, probes, expand, no supply blocks, Peruvian Swarm has a crazy amount of gas and tech, but doesn't have the units to defend it and doesn't actually have that much mineral mining, which is what's slowing him down right now. So this next wave of Hellions looking ever menacing. It's a whole bunch of basically Mad Max characters with flamethrowers. That is the sort of dudes that drive Hellions. It's a car with a flamethrower on it. In a futuristic age with warp jump teleportation technology, giant armored siege tanks with arc light cannons, battle cruisers that fill up the sky, you're going to drive literally a dune buggy with a flamethrower on top? Yeah, you're one of the most expendable and psychotic troops out there, if that's the case. Now these Widow Mines burrow, the Hellions do go down, but the Widow Mines get a couple of nice shots off, and once again just forcing drones off the line, creating some chaos. Behind this, Flo has got Vikings out. Yes! Oh my god, this is one of my favorite things. Now, Vikings are not a unit you're meant to mass. But remember, this is Florencio, and Florencio wants the absolute victory. He keeps dropping a map to give the next opponent hope, and then he's going to kill him in the silliest fashion possible. More Widow Mines walk in and kill drones. He's going to run past with a ton of Vikings, and he's just going to try and kill every Overlord, and he's going to basically create what we call the permanent supply block. He is going to just dive past the Queens. Unfortunately for him, there's Hydras out. He was hoping there'd be no anti-air. The idea is you can run in, kill every Overlord. You can run in, land on a base, kill it, pick up, fly away. He's going to try to do it. Unfortunately, Hydras are going to be really effective at that. And they've already got the movement speed upgrade. Similar army supply on both sides. Let's see how Florencio makes this work. He's still massing Vikings behind this. He's not really advancing his tech or his production. So definitely looking like he's letting his opponent back into this game, refilling that Zerg hope meter, and that Zerg getting to a lot of bases. Still doesn't have the biggest drone count, but he's in danger of exploding out of control the longer Florencio lets him stay in this game. And there we go, the land on the left. The Hydras run to the right because their Hellions are there. They say, we'll give up the hatch on the left, but we can't afford to lose the drones. A good drone pull. Peruvian Swarm will survive there. Those Hellions going to go down. Queens, the Lings, the Hydras clean it up. But the Vikings, the Widow Mines take out that hatchery. The Vikings lift off. They pull back. And then they go down the left-hand side. They know that with the vision gone, they wanted the lava to see him run away to the north. He's hoping the Hydras now push across the map because he's going to land in that main base. And look at this. The Widow Mines even pull him out of position a little bit. They make sure the Hydras are all up there. And they are. Hydras are way out front. And the Vikings mass land in the main. They're queening a bunch of drones in the open. A bunch of the drones go down. He's going to click on that lair. That is the only lair right now. If that goes down, that's big trouble for the Zerg player. Vikings do not do a lot of damage. They do a lot of bonus to mechanical. And even though these are the simulant Zerg skin Hydras, none of these units actually are mechanical. The lair goes down. Every Viking falls. Not a cheap trade, but he does take it out. And behind that, siege tanks and lots more Vikings. So about the trolliest army you could go, siege tank Viking, but Flo's going to go for it. He's up on 57 workers. He's got a pretty good economy. I wouldn't mind seeing the battle cruisers. I'm surprised he didn't go at last game. He isn't going at this game either. Tech Labs now start up. He cancelled those before, but he's finally opting for the fusion core. Yes, okay. That would be very good versus the Hydras. The lair is only just rebuilding. The Evo chamber's on the way. Peruvian Swarm are struggling to rebuild after these waves. There's actually floating a lot of money, but you can tell that it's the weirdness of playing Florencio, losing hatcheries left and right, dealing with these completely odd types of pressure, where Peruvian's brain is just racing, trying to figure out what am I supposed to do here. And instead is sitting at only 46 drones supply blocked. And it's decided to mass Hydras and try to push. This could work. If you catch the tanks out, we're on Peruvian's camera, but Peruvian camera has no idea what he's pushing into. He's quite afraid. Oh, he's going to catch the tank Viking. He catches the tank Viking out here. Let's go back to everyone's camera. The tanks are going to try to siege. The Vikings are going to try to land. Is this? Oh, the tanks get the siege up. And Florencio are going to take their space. He's going to leave the base in between them open because Flo, with his troll expansion pattern, is going to expand down 2 different directions of the map at the same time. He's got a much bigger economy right now as 3 battle cruisers start up. Oh, Flo in his element. Having some fun this game. And his opponent, Peruvian Swarm, is stiffening up. He's not replacing the drones. He's very slowly getting a couple more workers here or there, but he's never getting that giant, overwhelming economy that of course, the gentlemen seem to excel with. And I think this is going to be a very poopy map in the near future. I think the only scary point is this natural, right? There's no tanks or mines supporting it. There's no upgrades on these Hydras, but they could still take out some planetaries. And if you lose those starports in the main, oh, dude. Peruvian Swarm could still win. He's going to counterattack. Mass landed Viking and tank counterattack. The SCVs, they weren't repairing for a moment. Oh, man, the planetary kills like about 10 Hydralisks go down there. But those SCVs need to get the heck up into the main. And he's trying to buy time. He doesn't want to, he wants to distract. He needs those battle cruisers to come out. The tanks and the Vikings, they distract him. Peruvian Swarm goes home. He buys time. The battle cruisers are out. The tanks and the Vikings are landing. He's going to take out another base. Remember, Florencio still has a base up on the left. He's still got a bunch of production up there as well. He's making Yamato. And as he loses units, look at that. He teleports across the map. He knows the Hydras are on the wrong side of the map. Takes out a few Hydras, a Queen, a Spore. And the Hydras are going to trickle into this, but the battle cruisers do very well versus low numbers of Hydras. Their 1-1 isn't finished yet. And look at that tank positioning. Oh my god, his tanks are nestled in a tight little corner. The battle cruisers are going to get overwhelmed eventually here. They're trying to just fight a few of the Hydralisks at a time. The Vikings landing in the main, though, are clearing out the tech. So Flo's kind of just chilling on the edge. He says, okay, I'll fight you 1 or 2 Hydras at a time. That's okay with me. Up in the main, look at that. The tanks. The tanks. The Vikings are going to lift off and try to pull back. Oh, that's so sick. And he can just use scans there as well. The battle cruiser, there's still 1 battle cruiser left there. It's just picking off overlords and whatnot. That 1 queen and 1 Hydra fighting it. But he keeps shuffling it so only the queen can hit it. And it looks like those overseers will go down. Oh, gets 1 overseer, 1 Hydra. Oh, the battle cruiser does fall, but he's building 5 more right now. And he can, of course, just simply go over to that left base, rebuild his command centers as needed. Florencio here with this absolute shitbag position. Oh, that's so frustrating to dislodge tanks from. He can just use scans. Chat's making fun of me, guys. They said he doesn't have orbitals. But it's 15 minutes. Surely you'd have an orbital at this point. Wait a second. Does Burrow hard counter Florencio or invisibility? Because he can never scan. Is that like a hard counter? He like has to build a Raven, right? He's got turrets at home, but like he never has detection on the map. Oh my god. I hope I didn't just break Florencio's win rate. Anyways, because he literally never has scans. He never makes a single orbital command. Another big army of Hydras. And shout out to Peruvian Swarm. He's actually got a bigger drone count than he's had pretty much all game. Transferring workers over to that fourth base on the right-hand side. He said, fuck it, let's just ignore the tanks and keep picking off the bases. And this could work. Peruvian Swarm has definitely chewed through the bank, but oh, dude, you got to get these units behind the planetary. The tanks once again out in the open. Peruvian Swarm catches him. Oh, he doesn't focus the tanks. The tanks can siege. Wait. The battle cruisers didn't fight. Why did the battle cruisers run away? His battle cruisers teleported away. They could have defended this base. The tanks, though. Oh my god, you got to get rid of the tanks, mate. You can't just stand in tank fire. Okay, he's got to run home. Okay, it was fine. 2 battle cruisers teleport in the main. 2 are killing the 4th base. Florencio says, oh no, you killed the planetary. You're going to lose everything for that, buddy. This is a good move. Peruvian Swarm does take out 1 more base, but a 5th and 6th battle cruiser teleport in as well, and he's just killing absolutely everything. He's in every single base. Only the 3rd is properly mining. Hydras are popping out on top of battle cruisers, and the battle cruisers are mincing him, mate. Yeah, he can always pull back to the siege tanks as needed as well. Oh, he F2s! He F2s his army back through the tanks! Florencio. Oh, he's such a dickhead. Oh my god. Glorious, you know. Oh, look at this. The tanks on the low ground and the battle cruisers. And oh, this is the field of broken Zerg dreams right here. Oh my lord, look at all that simulant white blood on the ground. It's like that scene from Alien, or Aliens. Which one was it? I think in every one, right? You see that white cyborg blood. You see Bishop just like, oh man. 3 hit point hatchery does survive. Florencio once again says, he'll probably leave if I kill the hatchery. I'd like to torture a little bit more before this game is over, so let's not finish it just yet. And Peruvian Swarm here is in a dark place. Even his own base feels like an area where, you know, it's like when your kids leave their Lego everywhere. And look at that. Oh, adding insult to injury. It feels so much worse than if it just died the first time and you were already rebuilding it. Yeah, I feel like this over here is the kid left their fucking Lego everywhere and you're trying to walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you step on like 7 different pieces of Lego. Right now, Peruvian Swarm is feeling the pain of a father whose children never listen to him when he tells them to clean their toys up. Peruvian Swarm is feeling that terrible, sharp pain of stepping on a bloody corner of a Lego piece in the middle of the night into your bare foot. Ow! One of the few things that's almost as annoying as kicking a door frame or the corner of a table with your toe. Planetary there is already up on 10 kills. Make that 14. Make that 17. It's going to kill quite a few. The Hydras will manage to take out this planetary, but they will pay the iron price for it. Oh my god, he teleports on top. Those battle cruisers drop trousers and they unload their air-to-surface batteries. Peruvian Swarm dances his Hydras there, accepting defeat, and says, GG, you got me, mate. Well bloody played. Of course, Florencio hangs out in the game to kill some more units, but damn, that one was exciting. 94 Hydras went down that game. 19 Vikings. So for anyone who's never lost a game to Mass Viking before, it doesn't matter how it happened. It's Mass Viking. It feels like if you were arm wrestling someone, but instead of using their arm, they use their balls. Like, it's terrible. It's so embarrassing. It's like you're trying to fight someone and then they just like push you against the wall with one arm and you get knocked out. It's just, there is something that happens when someone uses Vikings to kill you where you feel bad after that. It's painful. What was this player's dignity score? Dot's asking in the chat. You know what? Peruvian Swarm, let's replay that one in our heads a little bit. Put up a pretty good fight. Did some good stuff. The Ling Queen Nidus, kind of a good idea, trying to get a sneaky win. Did literally nothing. Lost multiple hatcheries to Vikings. I mean, this is looking like a 0 or a 1. But remember, the Hydras did kill a planetary, right? Or 2. They killed like 3 or 4 planetaries. There was some good moves with that. To pull the drones away from the Hellions once or twice. I'm gonna give Peruvian Swarm a 3.5 out of 10. Dignity remaining after that one, which is not bad. Not bad. Well played, Peruvian Swarm. 3.5 out of 10 dignity. All right, guys. It is time for the final challenge. And the overlay is going to be a little bit ugly today because it is a 1 versus 2 spawning on his own in the top, in the red. It is Florencio. Now, if anyone remembers the hotkeys to change the colors, is it like Control-Shift-V or something? I don't know. We can change it to colored teams. So I think with 3 players, it should be fine. It's red versus teal and blue. Up here, it's Flo playing Protoss, and he's up against 2 players who are teamed up. They're both silver players, about silver 1, I believe. So kind of getting close to Gold League. But 2v1 in StarCraft is ridiculous. If these, like, there's just something about how much stuff they can have so early in the game. It can be really hard. So this game could go either way. I'm very curious to see how it unwinds. I will often play this map 1v2 versus, say, 2 high gold or low plat players. Usually if they're plat, they kick my ass. Usually if they're gold, it's a close but fun match where I potentially can win it. But depends how organized and coordinated they are. Over here on the left, Queen of Bases as Terran, and the teammate Celtic also for Terran. Now, I love this Florencio. He's not even planning to cannon rush, but the mind game. He comes in, builds a pylon. Now, Celtic's only pulled 2 SCVs. You need to pull a lot more than that, I believe, if you want to defend this. So I think he was hoping for a bit of a bigger pull, but already he's faking. He's coming back in like he's going to put the cannons. Celtic's freaking out a little bit. No, Celtic's actually doing quite well. Interesting. But look at that. Queen of Bases is building an engineering bay outside the... I think it's meant to be a barracks. Either that or it's meant to block the Nexus, not realizing that that's the expansion. I don't even know. Well, Celtic is pulling a lot of SCVs, so Florencio really has forced Celtic's economy down into the dumps here and is just doing a great job of macroing back up at home, getting up that tech with the gate in the core. Now, the probe does go down. Pylon goes down. This is all just to occupy the opponent's time, so Flo will be able to macro up behind that, but an engineering bay finishing there is so random, and I think Queen of Bases probably keeps looking at the map. Let's go to Queen of Bases camera. I think Queen of Bases, I think she keeps looking down here. Yeah, she's super distracted. If she was to send a Reaper across and counterattack Florencio, it would be amazing. But she's built an engineering bay here, which I think isn't... Oh, she's going to float a planetary into his base. No! What? She's going to float a planetary. That was on purpose. You're meant to build the command center first. She's going to try and float a command center and build a planetary inside Florencio's base. Did we not learn our lesson earlier at the very start of today's show? Don't shit a shitter. Don't cheese a cheeser. I think he's going to dumpster this, but it's going to make the game fun. So hats off to you, Queen of Bases. Celtic, meanwhile, is just building Marines, hasn't expanded at all. So Celtic's opening, I think, got really thrown off. It's finally starting a factory, but just got really distracted by that early rush, right? Behind this, Flo's expanding. He's got a shield battery, an adapter stalker. He's making a robo. It's a good build-up here by Florencio. And because he's playing 2 Terrans, I think he's going to go quick Colossus, which is a really smart choice. That counters a lot of the Terran units. It's going to be very effective. The problem he's going to face right now is, check it out. Oh, he's got to cancel that shade and fight these adepts. Yeah. Okay, so that Reaper is very weak. So Queen of Bases comes in with the Reapers, gets 2 probes in total there. Yeah, looks like Flo has lost 4 units, and 2 of those were buildings. So definitely. Well, actually, I think it was only the gateway or 1 pylon that finished that went down. Immortal building is going to be a hard counter to this. The Immortal will kill this so quickly. So that's a big problem. Queen of Bases. That means Queen of Bases follow-up is going to be really weak, right? What do we got? Factory with the reactor. No add-on on the barracks. Starport ain't doing jack just yet. Queen of Bases building another one. Queen of Bases is going to try and make a... Wait, you're going to make a planetary there? He's going to try to crawl planetary fortresses into his base. Oh my god, what a troll. Queen of Bases is going to build one there in the fog. He can't see that. And then she's going to plant another one there. And then slowly try to crawl planetaries into his main. This is the dumbest, most glorious shit I have ever seen. Queen of Bases may be one of my favorite players. Celtic's actually doing a really amazing job. Both of these players are, honestly, I feel like this is looking better than Silver. For both of these players, like, just they're spending their money pretty well. I don't know. Maybe Silver's gotten better recently. But check that out. That Adept with 4 kills, wreaking havoc. So Celtic has been very hamstrung, right? Really, it's got a command center up, but not much else. This planetary doesn't actually do anything. But look at that. High-sec auto-tracking and building armor. She's upgrading both upgrades. She's going to give them +1 range and armor. Now, Florencio still has not seen it. He's got a prism with an immortal and a probe in it. I think he's going to try and build cannons. He's building a forge. He's going to build cannons inside Celtic's base. He's going to do a similar strategy, but he's like, wait, what? Why is there a bunker inside my base? He's going to get over there and go, what the hell? What is this? She's trying to float the barracks in from her main base, build a bunker and a turret. And he's like, what? There's an orbital down here? That's not even another planetary, and she's building turrets there as well? This is like the ultimate distraction. This is amazing. This is actually slowing him down a lot. He's like, whoa, what is this? This is like, I think Florencio has literally just found a school of StarCraft strategic thought that's even more bizarre than his. The upgrade kicked in, so she's able to start killing that forge, and the splash is actually, no, not hitting the cannon, but he's going to counter drop. She's building 2 Vikings. Genius. She's a genius. She's building Vikings at hard counters the immortal drop. Well, actually, you're going to need to kill with the SCVs. Those SCVs need to attack. SCVs do okay against immortals, especially if the Vikings land. And they're trying to. Oh, good micro, though, by Florencio. I don't think she knows how to start it. And look at the focus fire Viking land. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Chad and Hunter, the 2 trust fund immortals. And what's that? Are you trying to fight them with your knife? Have you got a cardboard cutter? Oh, I'm sorry. We have full automatic machine guns. Get the fuck out. Oh my god. Look at this. Okay. Oh shit. Hunter went down. Chad still remains though. He's like, my bro went down, dude. We've got so many memories back in the frat house. I can't believe they killed Hunter, man. And oh, Chad goes down as well. The Vikings do take them down, but she's lost all of her economy. She had to float that orbital. She's down to 3 SCVs. And now Celtic's like, shit, I got to do some heavy lifting. And look at that. There's batteries, immortals and stalkers being elevated into the main base right now. Flo accidentally just walled those units in though. I think that's an accident, surely. Is he walling them in on purpose so that SCVs can't get to? I think he is. I think his plan is to bait in SCV pool and then have the units ferry behind there. This is truly, and this is what happens, I think, when we put Florencio's fans in a match against Florencio. You can tell it's people who have not been watching Vibe's Bronze to GM series. They're not focusing on just max out at the 10-minute mark and you'll be able to win games. They're engaged in a different line of strategic learning. I think this one's called the Sewer Gambit that Queen of Bases went for. Don't know if you guys have heard, they're making a new Netflix special. Florencio has been consulting on it and helping with the writing team to make sure they get it factually accurate. It's about a young girl in the StarCraft scene who she basically tries to work her way up. There's a lot of sexism, a lot of doubts. She's an orphan. But you know, she follows her own unique strategic lines and manages to take down the incumbents and become the world champion. I think is kind of the goal there. In this case, these Thors are trying to hang on. Okay, depowers 1 shield battery, but that immortal is just so hard to deal with. Oh, he's going to depower. He's got a micro to heal. The shield battery's trying to heal. They're trying to heal the pylon, but they can't keep it up. And he's actually going to hold on. Celtic here. No way. Celtic's actually holding on. 2-base mech. Celtic's like, dude, I can 1v1 you, mate. I'm the best silver player in the world, dude. I'm making Thor. So maybe Celtic is a bit more of a vibe player. But Queen of Base is definitely more of a different one. Now, Florencio's trying to cannon rush that base. She's floated her command center. She's got 2 command centers. If she drops all of her mules, she'll be pretty good, actually. Stalker's there defending. Flo doesn't really have that much. He's only on 33 probes. He hasn't transferred workers. He's been tunnel visioning on this push. Classic Flo. Can Flo's ridiculous tunnel vision cause him a problem? There's 5 SCVs on auto repair there, by the way. And she's building Marines inside his main. Celtic's taking a 3rd on location. Celtic has actually a bigger economy than Florencio, significantly right now. And is massing Thors, which are a generically good unit. Like, Flo's trying to make Stargates, which don't do good versus Thors. He really needs to make Immortals en masse. I actually think Florencio might lose this game to these 2 silvers. The Queen of Bases just distracted him enough, allowing Celtic the macro silver to get up. And I mean, Celtic's doing a splendid job of it. Both of these players might not be lightning fast, but there's 2 of them Florencio, of course, is going to hamstring Queen of Bases once again. She's adding very little, but she's got a few Vikings out, and most of all, she's occupying his APM and his attention. He's trying to make Immortal Void Ray. With enough shield batteries, I think he can defend his ramp from the Thors. But it's going to be a tough one when it comes to fighting anywhere away from those batteries, because there's just going to be so many Thors, and there's upgrades building. So Celtic is not just sitting still, taking a third, making upgrades, adding Hellbats to buffer, and he's even going to defend Queen of Bases' outpost here, allowing her to re-expand. Well, he's accidentally attack moved over there, so the units are kind of just going to stare at each other for a moment. Finally, they do move on up. That Stalker will get out, though. And Queen of Bases, I think, still keeping Florencio quite uncomfortable right now. Void Rays do a lot of damage to Thors. And you know what? Actually, these are Silver League players. Thors are really good versus Void Rays now, guys, because when they put their guns on their shoulders, when they swap into high impact payload, they actually do massive range, high damage to things like Void Rays and carriers. The problem is, I don't know if Celtic will know about that ability or know how to use it, or even know that it's better versus Void Rays. If the Void Rays all stack up, the normal firing mode is okay, but if Florencio spreads his Void Rays out a little bit, they're going to be amazing versus Thor. So watch this. Yeah, they don't have their guns on their shoulders. They're all in Javelin missile launcher mode. So as long as, I mean, let's be real, I'm not sure if Florencio knows how to spread units out. So he might actually just comp his Void Rays and lose to the Thors anyway, but look at this dude. The tank's sieging up. There's a turret next to it. The Chads are going to go in though. The next generation of young Chads. Watch out. Javelin missile launchers. Yeah. I don't think Celtic knows how to pull out the big guns. Doesn't have those big shoulder-mounted ones, but 3 Immortals and a pack of Stalkers can do good. Mostly Thors being built. Tanks would annihilate this ground army. If you got a few tanks behind this, it'd be great. But look at that. The Void Ray Harass is going to come in. There's no anti-air at home. Problem for Flo is that he's stuck on a very low base count. What's he doing? Just building Void Rays and Stalkers right now. Stalkers are probably one of the least efficient units in the game against Thors and tanks and that sort of stuff. But there we go. The Void Ray Harass is going to come in. The reason I also worry is, remember that Queen of Bases is still building Vikings, and she has an economy up. She has 31 SCVs. She's rebuilt partially. And, Hellbat Thor coming up the ramp. But smart call from Celtic is Celtic wants to go for it. I think with battery overcharge, Flo can hold that ramp, and the Void Rays are forcing it. He's gonna go up the ramp. Celtic tries to push up the ramp, but most of the Thors are stuck behind each other. That battery overcharge we were talking about, look at this. The Stalkers and the Immortals are killing every single Hellbat. One Immortal getting dangerously low, but the probes pull in. Celtic does manage to focus fire one Immortal, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Another Immortal falls. Is Celtic going to break him? The Void Rays aren't here. The Void Rays aren't here. I think they all just got cleaned up, or they recalled maybe. I think they got cleaned up by the Vikings on the other side. Celtic with the big boy Thors says cheese or macro. Macro always wins. I studied at the school of vibes, macro or die trying. And the two of honestly the best silver players I've ever seen. So shout out to these guys. They must be in silver 1 at least. If not, one of them even lying about their rank potentially. But they managed to take it down there. Celtic getting those Thors up. And they survived the sewers. And you know what? I got to rate that game. And how can I do it? What can I do? How could I possibly rate that game? You've got yin and yang. You've got Queen of Bases, who I was like, oh shit, this player said they're silver. I think they might not know how to play the game. Because there was a moment where I was like, I maybe should have put 3 silvers and bronzes in. And that was this moment. When Queen of Bases decided to build an engineering bay on his 3rd, I thought Queen of Bases was absolutely ruined. I was like, this one's going to contribute nothing. But the planetary crawl into the main simply to distract and annoy Florencio, I actually think really threw him off, kept him occupied. She took a punch on the other side as well. Those 2 Vikings and the SCV sacrificing their lives to take out Chad Hunter and their Prism, their Lamborghini Prism transport. And that was a turning point in this entire game, wasn't it? Because it was when Chad and Hunter went down, that was, if he could have killed those and then finished her off with those 2 Immortals, he's only got to deal with 1 player. He can focus on that. But instead, she's distracting and building Marines in the corner of his base. And Celtic, ultimate try-hard macro, simping after vibe, hardcore. 50 workers, took a 3rd, went up to like 65 factories pumping Thors. I mean, you got the cheesy Queen of Bases, the macro Celtic, the best of both worlds. And GG, bloody well played. 10 out of 10. Dignity and Tact. Queen of Bases and Celtic, our only 10 out of 10 Dignity team. They have not only survived the sewers, but for today, for one day, they've conquered them. They'll need to leave at some point to get a breath of fresh air, and I'm sure the sewer mermaid will retake up residence. But for now, he's been chased even deeper into the warrens of the sewerage system, and they've taken up position in his nest. GG, well played. Hats off to you, mother truckers. I hope all of you have enjoyed this show. It's been a ton of fun for me to do something a little bit special for the Florencio Files. If you guys enjoy this show, please do check out the link to the full playlist down below in the description or in chat, ! Florencio Files. Of course, you can get early access to episodes if you do check out the Patreon. We've got all the info there. But please also go show some love to Florencio. Go over to his stream, twitch.tv/Florencio SC. He is there right now. And there's links to that as well as his YouTube channel down below in the description. He's an absolute legend. Thank you everyone for enjoying the show. It's been an awesome journey to 200 episodes, and I can't wait to bring you more. Thank you very much for watching. I love all of you. Stay cheesy, everybody. Stay cheesy, San Diego. Good night.